Welcome to our deep dive into social media algorithms. To kick things off, could you walk us through how these platforms use our behaviors to create personalized content feeds?
Absolutely. Social media platforms rely on machine learning models that analyze every interaction likes, comments, shares, and even how long you pause on a video. These signals help the algorithms predict what content will keep you engaged the longest, constantly updating your user profile.
So it's not just about what we click, but how we engage overall. Does this mean even seemingly minor actions, like scrolling past a post, are factored in?
Exactly. Even hesitating over a post or searching for certain topics is logged. It's like a digital diary, always learning. This granular approach is why your feed can feel eerily tailored, sometimes surfacing content you didn't realize you were interested in.
Building on that, let's talk about engagement metrics. Why do likes, shares, and comments carry so much weight in determining what we see next?
Engagement metrics serve as proxies for relevance. The more people interact with a post, the more the algorithm assumes it's valuable. Think of it like a popularity contest. Viral posts are more likely to be promoted, even if they're polarizing or sensational.
That sounds efficient, but could this system unintentionally prioritize harmful content?
Definitely, studies show false information spreads up to 6 times faster than accurate news on Twitter, largely because it's more emotionally charged, exactly the kind of material algorithms tend to amplify.
Let's turn to the technology itself. How do machine learning models actually predict what content we'll like?
Machine learning uses historical data, your previous interactions to spot patterns, and forecast future behavior. It's similar to how Netflix suggests shows, but social platforms go further, factoring in your friends' preferences and global trends to refine their predictions.
Could you give an analogy to help clarify how these models work?
Imagine a librarian who not only remembers every book you've borrowed, but also tracks what your friends are reading. Over time, she becomes scarily accurate at handing you the next book you'll enjoy. Algorithms do the same, but at lightning speed and massive scale.
You mentioned the filter bubble effect. Can you explain how algorithmic personalization can limit our exposure to diverse viewpoints?
Certainly. As algorithms learn your preferences, they tend to show you more of the same, reinforcing your existing beliefs. Over time, this creates an echo chamber or filter bubble where challenging or diverse ideas rarely surface.
How might this affect our perception of the world?
It can distort reality, making it seem like everyone shares your views. This has far-reaching consequences, from political polarization to the spread of misinformation, because people rarely encounter corrective perspectives in their feeds.
Let's dig deeper into misinformation. Why are algorithms so effective at amplifying false or sensational content?
Algorithms are optimized for engagement, not truth. Sensational stories trigger strong emotions, prompting more shares and comments. MIT research found that, on Twitter, fake news spreads faster than the truth, partly because it's novel and surprising traits algorithms reward.
So, the system unintentionally incentivizes misleading content?
Exactly. The algorithm doesn't distinguish between fact and fiction. It just tracks what keeps us clicking. As a result, viral but inaccurate posts can dominate feeds, especially during major events like elections or crises.
What about the phenomenon of polarization? How do algorithms contribute to the deepening of ideological divides?
Algorithms often prioritize content that aligns with your existing beliefs. Over time, this can push users toward more extreme viewpoints, a process called algorithmic radicalization. A 2023 study showed that repeated exposure to one-sided content increases political polarization.
Can you provide a real-world example of this in action?
One example is YouTube's recommendation engine, which has been criticized for steering users toward increasingly radical content. Starting from innocuous topics, people can quickly be exposed to fringe ideologies simply through a chain of recommendations.
Let's address the impact on vulnerable groups. How do algorithms affect teenagers or other at-risk populations?
Teenagers are especially susceptible. For example, a Danish study found that Instagram's algorithm inadvertently promoted self-harm content to minors, largely because it failed to filter out harmful posts in pursuit of engagement.
Are there mechanisms in place to protect these groups? Or is this still an ongoing challenge?
While platforms have introduced moderation tools, determined users often bypass them using coded language or algo speak. The challenge is that algorithms can struggle to detect these evolving tactics, leaving gaps in protection.
Speaking of algo speak, can you explain how users modify their language to evade detection by algorithms?
Algo speak involves using euphemisms, symbols, or altered spellings like unalive instead of suicide to dodge moderation filters. These linguistic tricks are common in communities discussing sensitive or prohibited topics.
Does this practice undermine efforts to keep platforms safe?
It does. As moderation algorithms rely on keyword detection, creative language shifts can let harmful content slip through. This ongoing cat-and-mouse game makes it difficult to fully automate content safety.
Let's broaden our lens to the ethical implications. What are the main concerns about autonomy and consent in algorithmic curation?
Many users don't realize how much their data is being collected or how algorithms influence their choices. This lack of transparency raises questions about informed consent. Are people truly aware of how their perceptions are being shaped?
How do these issues affect democratic processes and mental health?
Algorithmic amplification of divisive content can erode democratic discourse by distorting public opinion. Psychologically, constant exposure to emotionally charged material has been linked to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, especially among youth.
With all these challenges, what steps can platforms take to design more ethical and transparent algorithms?
Transparency is key. Platforms should disclose how their algorithms rank content. User control is also crucial, like allowing people to switch to chronological feeds or customize their preferences. This empowers users to shape their own experiences.
Are there any real-world examples of platforms implementing these solutions?
Meta, for instance, has experimented with letting users toggle between algorithmic and chronological feeds. While not a cure-all, these changes give users agency and can reduce the negative effects of algorithm-driven echo chambers.
Looking ahead, what role should regulation and oversight play in shaping the future of social media algorithms?
Regulation can set minimum standards for transparency and accountability. For example, requiring audits of algorithmic systems or mandating clear disclosures about data use. Oversight bodies can ensure that platforms prioritize public well-being over pure engagement metrics.
What are the potential challenges in regulating these rapidly evolving technologies?
One challenge is keeping regulation flexible enough to adapt to new algorithmic techniques. There's also the risk of stifling innovation. Striking a balance protecting users without hampering the benefits of personalization will be essential as we move forward.